Hello, South Shore. Welcome back to third grade online with Miss Nazaripour. I hope that you had a fantastic 3-day weekend and that you're back and ready to learn with me. Today in reading, we're going to be continuing Unit 8, where we started talking about the author's point of view. We're going to transition a little bit from talking about the author's point of view to really discussing what the main idea of a nonfiction text is. Remember from school, the main idea of a nonfiction text is what the author mostly wants you to know about the text. In order to find the main idea, though, we're going to be using a strategy that we've been using all year, and that's evidence, finding evidence in the text, finding those most important details. We're going to be working on that together as we read through some of the chapters in this, or sections in this book called Lifetimes. This book was written by David L. Rice and illustrated by Michael S. Maytag. When the author of this book talks about lifetimes, they're talking about how long something exists. So for instance, we're going to learn, we may be learning about how long an army ant lives, or how long the lifetime of the earth has been. So different kinds of lifetimes: the lifetime of plants, the lifetime of animals, and the lifetime of other living objects. So what you're gonna need to get into this unit with me today is your journal if you have it. If not, any piece of paper to write on will do. You will need to write today, and a pencil or a pen or whatever you can write with. So go grab those things and come on back and let's learn about lifetimes. Okay, third graders, like I said, this unit is going to be about main idea. And the main idea is the most important idea about a topic. You can think about that also as the big idea, what the text is mostly about. In order to find main idea, I want you to think about a stool. The part that holds you up, or the seat, is the main idea. And the legs that support that seat are the details. When you think about details, we're thinking about those pieces of evidence that support our thinking. So we use clues to help you find the main idea. We think about, what is the text mostly about? That's the topic, right? That's one word, is the topic. We look at titles and headings. We look at pictures. Sometimes the main idea is stated in the first and last sentences. In the book we're going to read today, called Lifetimes, you're going to see that I often cover up the last sentence in the passage because this author has stated the main idea in the last passage. So when you're reading independently, you might look for that. You might also look for repeated words. So if they're talking about lifetimes, for instance, over and over again, that might be part of the main idea. We think about those supporting details. Now, when we think about supporting details, we think about these important question words: how, what, where, why, how many, how much. Remember, those really important question words are going to give you great details to help you decide what it is the author mostly wants you to know in this text. Okay, third graders, the first section of this book we're going to read today is a lifetime for an army ant is about 3 years. So let's get our journal set up to do all of our writing today. So what I would like you to do is to always start by writing the date, and today's date is 5-26-20. Once you've got that done, go ahead and write the title of the book, which is Lifetimes. That's all one word. Underneath that, you can write about this. You can write the title of the specific section we're reading, or the heading. And I'm not going to write that whole heading. I'm just going to write Army Ants. That'll be enough to cue me into what I'm writing about today. Once you've got that done, let's move on to the next thing. So if you need to pause the video to keep working on that, feel free. If you're done, go ahead and write right underneath Army Ants, write what I know. Don't write it too big because you're going to need to write something on the other side. Go ahead and draw a line, not all the way down, but about that far, just enough to accommodate all the things you're going to write. Of course, if you know lots and lots of things about ants, go ahead and draw it all the way down. I don't know. I know some things, but not that many. So on the other side, I'm going to write what I learned. And unlike in times past, where I only wrote down new information on what I learned, here today, I'm going to write down all the important information that the author wants me to know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to pause the video and over here write down all the things you already know about ants, and let's see if the author talks about it. For instance, I've never seen just one ant at a time. They always travel in packs. They often go after sweet things. I know they're scavengers, so they like to find food and work together. What else do you know about ants? Go ahead and write everything you know about ants. Pause the video until you're done with that. All right, South Shore, we're going to start reading now. I'm going to read through it one time. So go ahead and put your pencil down. You don't need to write anything right now. Let's just read it one time to find out some new things about ants. A lifetime for an army ant is about 3 years. Feel free to read along with me or at least track it with your eyes. Army ants are famous for their ability to work together. Excuse me. Let me start over. Army ants are famous for their ability to work together to accomplish amazing things. They march along like soldiers, sometimes 1 million at a time. Nothing can stop them. When they come to a river and they make an ant bridge of themselves to get across. If the river is very wide, they form large ant balls and float to the other side. Army ants eat mostly insects, spiders, and small animals, although they have been known to eat horses, cows, and even tigers that are tied up or caged. People who live in areas with army ants have to leave their homes for a day or two when the ants come marching through. When they return, their houses are completely free of rats, cockroaches, or other pests. Army ants show us that if everyone works together, we can do almost anything. All right, third graders, I'm going to read through that again. And this time, you think about the important details the author wants you to learn. I will point them out, and when I do, I want you to pause the video and go ahead and on this section of your chart, write those things down. Army ants are famous for their ability to work together to accomplish things. So over here, I'm going to write work together, because that seems to be an important bit of information about them. They do a lot of incredible things working together. They march along like soldiers, sometimes 1 million at a time. So I can say they march in large groups up to, did you hear what the author said? 1 million. 1 million ants is just an incredible number to me. I can't even think about what 1 million ants would look like. So go ahead and write that down. Work together, march in large groups up to 1 million. Always feel free to pause the video if you need more time to write. Don't rush. When they come to a river, nothing can stop them. When they come to a river, they make an ant bridge of themselves to get across. If the river is very wide, they form large ant balls and float to the other side. So over here, I'm going to write cross rivers. And again, these are notes, you guys, so I don't have to worry about writing in full sentences. Cross rivers and ant bridge or ant balls. Take as much time as you need to write this down, but make sure you've written it down. It's an important fact. Army ants eat mostly insects, spiders, and small animals. So I can say, another important fact, eat insects, spiders, small animals. So again, if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. But look at this next fact. Although they have been known to eat horses, cows, and even tigers that are tied up or caged. So I'm going to say can eat large animals if tied up or caged. That is a terrifying fact that I almost wish I didn't know. People who live in areas with army ants have to leave their homes for a day or two when the ants come marching through. When they return, their houses are completely free of rats, cockroaches, or other pests. So over here, I can write, when they come to houses, people leave, and then they eat all pests. If I were fleeing from some army ants, I would definitely take my cats. How crazy. How crazy is that, third grade? All right, go ahead and pause the video until you've written all of these important details that we learned today about army ants. Okay, third graders, once you have all of those new important details that the author taught us written down, I have two more questions for you. The first question, I'm gonna have you write just the word topic, and go ahead and tell me what is the topic, not of the whole book, but just of this one section. What is the topic? And remember that a topic is one word. What is the topic of this section of the book? Once you've written that down, the second thing I want you to write down is main idea. And third graders, remember that when you think about the main idea, you think about one sentence that tells you what the text is mostly about. So the topic is what? That's right, the topic's army ants, that's it. But then you're gonna elongate that or give more detail in one sentence. So not a whole paragraph, but just one sentence where you answer the question. If you had to say what this passage or this section is about in one sentence, what would you say? So give me a little bit more detail than army ants, which is the answer to your first question. Once you get these things written down, go ahead and send this sheet into your teacher so we can see all of the great work that you've done. If you haven't written all of that down, go ahead and pause the video right now so you can write it all down. For my class, and Miss Bedford's class, it will also be up in Schoology. Remember, you're going to end with topic. I just told you what it is. And then I want you to elongate that and turn that into a main idea by giving me a little bit more detail than army ants. One sentence. When you get that all done, send it into your teacher. All right, third graders, please don't forget today that it is also always your responsibility to read for at least 25 minutes a day. There's so many good books out there. If you are running short on books at home, don't forget, you can always log in to Epic Books. If you need help doing that, contact your teacher, or also you have the option to log into Reading A to Z. Also, if you need help doing that, contact your teacher. All right, third graders, have a great Tuesday. We'll talk soon. Take care.